Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel. Welcome back to another episode of my game week predictions. This is now game week 26, and last weekend I got myself 10 points, which I'm pretty impressed with, I'm not gonna lie, and in those 10 points was 2 correct scores, so hopefully we can get similar, if not better than that, this weekend. But yeah, of course, before we get into this video, I would like to quickly ask you guys to subscribe to the channel, because we are now looking at 1,500 subscribers on this channel as soon as we possibly can. So if you were to hit that subscribe button right now, it would cost you absolutely nothing and would make my day, so it is very much a win-win situation. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into predicting this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Starting off with the game at the Etihad, and that is the current Premier League leaders and, champions elect, you could say, Manchester City versus West Ham United. Now, City won their last 19 games in all competitions, 13 of those in the Premier League, and of course, no new major injury doubts for them. Kevin De Bruyne back from injury, just really looking like a case of who can actually beat them at this stage, if I'm honest. West Ham, though, not had a bad season whatsoever themselves, currently sitting in the top 4 right now, and did beat Spurs 2-1 last weekend, and they're just so solid, aren't they? They just really are. However, this is the start of a very tough run of fixtures for West Ham, and I think they will make it a bit of a fight for City in this one, but overall, you just can't really bet against City, can you? I've gone for Manchester City 2, West Ham 1, and as I said, I think West Ham will make it a game for them, but I just think you cannot bet against Manchester City with the form they have been on. And on to the next game, and that is West Bromwich Albion versus Brighton at the Hawthorns. Now, West Brom haven't won since mid-January, which is absolutely staggering. Actually playing okay right now, though. It's just that they can't really score goals. They just haven't been clinical whatsoever, I'm not going to lie. But speaking of not being clinical, I mean, step forward, Brighton and Hove Albion somehow lost to Crystal Palace on Monday night with like 25 shots to 3 or something mad like that. However, I'll kind of forgive them a little bit because it was their first defeat in the last 7 games for them in the Premier League, and to be honest, West Ham, they just have to win this one to give themselves even a glimmer of hope in terms of their survival ambitions. Just don't think that either team will be clinical enough to actually take this game by the scruff of the neck and get 3 points, and that is why I've gone for a draw, I've gone for a stalemate. I'm sitting on the fence, I've gone for West Bromwich Albion 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, and yeah, I just don't think, as I said, either team will have that clinical edge to win this game. And on to the next game, and that is taking place at Elland Road. Leeds United versus Aston Villa. Now, Leeds, as we all know, they're just impossible to predict because one week they can be blistering, another week they can be pathetic defensively. They looked really sharp in midweek though against Southampton, putting 3 past them without reply. Still missing a few players, most notably Calvin Phillips, who I've constantly said on this channel is so important to the way they play. Aston Villa stuttered at Villa Park last weekend against Leicester City, and they were missing Jack Grealish, which is just absolutely huge for them. Will Jack Grealish be fit for this one? I'm not too sure. It doesn't really look like it, which of course will play a massive toll on this game and how I actually predict this game to go. So yeah, both sides missing probably their most important players in my personal opinion, and it's really about who can deal with that better. And for me, I originally went for a draw on this one, but I just think Aston Villa will just about nick this one because they didn't even look that bad against Leicester even without Jack Grealish, and for that reason I've gone with Leeds 1, Aston Villa 2, and yeah, I just think that Aston Villa will just about nick this one, but a draw would not surprise me whatsoever. Now on to the next game, and that is taking place at St James's Park, Newcastle versus Wolves. Now Newcastle, they're just terrible. I think that's all I need to say about them really, and to be honest, I hate to say it, but I really do hope they go down, and I admire the Newcastle fans. I admire how much they've put up with this thing and they've actually, got through it a certain amount. But I just don't want them in the Premier League as long as Steve Bruce is in charge because he plays completely anti-football. They're probably the only team at the moment in the Premier League that just, you can't even tell how they play. They just don't have a clear plan. They're just terrible, as I said. Wolves, looking back to the best though, on the flip side, I mean, unbeaten in their last 4 games, including 3 wins in those 4 games, and still missing Willy Bolly though, Daniel Podence, and most importantly, Raul Jimenez as well, so, 3 big misses for them. And to be honest, I just can't see anything other than a Wolves win here. I don't think anybody really can. I just think Newcastle, they play without a plan, as I said. I've gone with Newcastle 0, Wolves 2 in this one, and I just think that Newcastle are slowly sleepwalking into relegation in my opinion. And now on to the next game taking place at Selhurst Park, a London derby, Crystal Palace versus Fulham. This is a massive opportunity for Fulham to move above Newcastle in the Premier League table on goal difference with a win against the Wilfred Zaha-less Crystal Palace side, as he's been missing for the last few weeks and will not come back for this one. And yeah, I know Crystal Palace did beat Brighton, but let's be honest, it was one of those games, it was one of those smash and grabs, and they won't get away with that every single week. And I think that, I think Fulham have a massive opportunity, as I said, to get 3 points, which would be absolutely huge considering the fact that there's only 12 games left in the Premier League season. Fulham actually do have a bit of momentum going as well. I mean, they're unbeaten in the last 4 games. I know only 2 were wins, but of course they're still unbeaten in the last 4 games. I'm backing Fulham again because whenever I back Fulham, they seem to pull out a result, and I think they are going to win this game. I've gone for Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 1, and yeah, Fulham to scare the absolute daylights out of Newcastle with 3 points here at Selhurst Park. And now on to the next game taking place at the King Power Stadium, Leicester City versus Arsenal. Now this is a game. Arsenal have nothing to play for anymore in the league, I'm not going to lie, back into the bottom half of the table after that Leeds victory over Southampton in midweek, and solely focusing now on the Europa League after that last gasp win against Benfica in midweek. Leicester City, on the other hand, they very much do have something to play for, and I think they just need to keep going, keep picking up points, keep picking up wins. They're getting closer and closer week by week to that coveted top 4 place, and I do think they will actually make it in the end. So yeah, they just need to keep winning games on a consistent basis. basis. And Arsenal as well notoriously do have a very bad record at the King Power Stadium, and I think that will continue this weekend. I've gone for Leicester City 2, Arsenal 1, a narrow Leicester win, but I just think Leicester are just so strong. I think they will pick up another 3 points in this one. And now on to the next game of this weekend at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham versus Burnley. Now, it's just all gone wrong for Tottenham. They've lost 5 of their last 6 Premier League games, the only win in that 6 games coming at home against West Brom. If they lose this, I mean, they're in some bother, let's get real here. Burnley gradually picking up points, as I always say on this channel. They're one of those teams that quietly go about their business, quietly pick up enough points, and I do think they will be safe this season. Burnley as well, actually unbeaten in their last 4 games, even though 3 of those are draws. They still are unbeaten in the last 4 games, and still do have a few injuries, to be fair to them as well, like the likes of Chris Wood, Johan Goodmanson, Robbie Brady, etc. And yet, surely Tottenham are winning this. Surely Tottenham are winning this, and for that reason I'm going to back them again, but if they lose this, honestly, but yeah, I'm going to go for Tottenham 2, Burnley 1, and yeah, as I said, if they lose this, it really is looking bleak for Jose Mourinho at Tottenham. And now on to the game of the weekend, taking place at Stamford Bridge, my club, Chelsea versus Manchester United. The game of the weekend, as I said, Chelsea coming in off the back of a Thomas Tuchel masterclass against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League in midweek. Still unbeaten in his first 8 games in charge, Thomas Tuchel, including 4 games in the league, 8 in all competitions, of course. United going about their business as well. They're going to get top 4, let's be honest. And to be honest, does anyone really care about Manchester United results anymore? Because we know they're going to get top 4, but you know what? Nobody really cares about their games anymore for that reason. And yet, to be quite honest, I mean, this is actually the start of a very tough run of games for us in the league and abroad, because if I am correct, I think we have Liverpool, Everton and Leeds in our next 3 games in the Premier League, with a game against Atletico Madrid in the second leg tied into that as well. So yeah, a very tough run of games for us ahead. But you know what? I just have that feeling there's a big win on the way for Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, and for that reason I've gone for Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1 to cut the gap on them to 3 points in the Premier League table, and yeah, what a result that would be. But yeah, I just have that feeling we are going to get a big win. And on to the penultimate game of this weekend, taking place at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United versus Liverpool. Now Liverpool, what more can we say? Jordan Henderson's name added to that bloated list of injuries. Liverpool lost the last 4 games in the Premier League, a horrendous run capped off by their first defeat to Everton at Anfield since 1999, 22 years ago. Sheffield United, on the other hand, basically gone, in my opinion. I think they needed to beat Fulham last weekend to give themselves even a flicker of hope of staying up. They do have quite a few injuries themselves though, the likes of Sander Berge, Jack O'Connell as we've seen at the start of the season, Chris Basham now injured, John Egan, so yeah, Sheffield United have a bit of an injury crisis themselves, to be fair to them. I mean, if Liverpool lose this, it's a similar situation to Tottenham, because if Liverpool lose this, they're in a spot of bother, but I'm going to back them for a comprehensive win here actually, and I've gone for Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 3, Sheffield United I think will just be mentally defeated after that Fulham game, and I think that Liverpool will click in this game and will get a comfortable win. And now on to the final game of this weekend, taking place at Goodison Park in Merseyside, Everton versus Southampton. Everton hit an all-time high with victory, of course, over Liverpool last weekend for the first time since 1999, as I said. They were just absolutely unbelievable, and for them, to be honest, it gets better as well, because Alan back into the team now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin back to full fitness, so you do have a pretty full-strength team here, Everton. On the other side though, Southampton really in danger at this moment in time, and you could argue not even safe from relegation yet, because they've taken 1 point, 1 singular point, since January 4th when they bet Liverpool 1-0, and in those games, of course, they've lost 7 out of their last 8 games from that date. Seen off 3-0 at Elland Road in midweek, they were just really poor in that game, I have to admit, but Everton themselves have a really realistic chance at attaining Champions League football for next season, and Southampton, their confidence is just shot, and for that reason, I can't look behind an Everton win here, and that is why I've gone for Everton 3, Southampton 1, and yeah, I just can't see Southampton matching this Everton side for 90 minutes. And yes, so those are my Premier League Game Week 26 predictions. If you want to go and leave your predictions down in the comment section below, as per usual, please feel free to do so, because I'm very interested to see how you guys think these games will pan out this weekend. And yeah, that is where we're going to leave this video. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, because 20 likes, as per usual, will be honestly appreciated by myself, and also if you could subscribe to the channel. As I said, we are now looking to hit 1,500 subscribers, so any subscription would be massively appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.